Hello, folks. Good day wherever you are. This is Dr. Godswill Key, the anchor of Communication Moments. We are still looking at aspects of business communication as it affects us. It can affect anybody in an organization, or what a student can take home with, to improve communication skills, and something you could also use in examination situations. That's why we are here. We hope you had a nice weekend. Understand how the bustle and pressures and the challenges are. But the most important thing is to be focused. The most important thing is to look ahead. The most important thing is to tend to meet your objectives in whatever form they are. And believe you me, they will come to pass. It may not even be as you want them to be, but they will surely come to pass and will be for the better. Thank you. We've been talking about some aspects of communications, nonverbal communications. We've looked at we've looked at the different aspects. We've looked at body language. We've looked at eye contact, facial expressions, and one thing we may just talk about briefly is the body language. The body language before we go into what we intend to look at today, which essentially are spaces, the use of spaces in communication, either as an individual, as an officer, or even as a corporate body. So when we talk about body language, we talk about those things we exhibit when we are in a communicative position, the way our body is, the way our heads are hanging, or are they hanging straight, the eyes contact, our smiles, so all these things, the totality of our body posture, they also communicate. So we have to be careful how we use the body language. We should not be extremely defensive, because some people, while communicating, they exhibit a defensive body language. A discerning discussant into that communication may exploit your body language if it is not positive. At the same time, it should not be combative, like you want to take up arms. No. But as much as it is possible, it should be gentle, manly. It should be open to dialogue. You should be receptive as to the communication that you are receiving. So, the proper gesture, or to minimize gesture, having a smile on your face, standing upright, not necessarily crossing your legs, but putting them nicely, are good body languages, So we should not slump. We should not exhibit those languages, because there are signals which all these things emit, which may not be to our advantages. So we should be very conscious of the body language. Yet, that is not to say that we should be so conscious that we become artificial, that it becomes theatrical. But we should mind how our body language is, how we use it, especially in formal communication settings. But in informal settings, they may not necessarily matter, because that is whom you are. Thank you. I hope you understand. But once again, I want to thank you all for your communications, your responses, those who have called, those who have mentioned in other social media forms. So we shall briefly look at the use of spaces. What is a space? A space involves or consists of the environment where we operate. Spaces could also be physical, they could also be emotional as it is. So we should mind how we use spaces. you know a space communicates, and position communicates, um, the superior officer. The space communicates a junior officer. How the distance between us and some other person suggests, formality, or in some cases, which is not really encouraged, um, a level of intimacy. So the use of spaces is very important in an organization. In formal settings, you are not really expected to be so close as to suggest some other things, especially between a superior and the subordinate. Even in informal settings, it's not really allowed. Organizations frown at this. So the use of space, maintaining the decent level of space is important in an organization. And for superior officers, they ought to maintain that space so you will not be taken advantage of. Though, depending on the kind of organization, even if you're not hierarchically built, if it's a horizontally based organization, it may not matter. But even at that, you find out that spacing is important, you know. Whereas Mark Zuckerberg will be with his colleagues and everything. But uh, in pictures, in videos, you'll still see the space he occupies. Yeah, others are around him, but they are not necessarily that close to him. Yeah, they are eating together, they are at the beach and other things, but you will notice that there is a space. Yes, I am the boss. Yes, I'm the director. Yes, the box stops at my table. The use of spaces is important. It communicates. Because the danger is when you don't use space adequately, your position and your authority could be abused. And when it does, it affects the running of the organization. So there's also the emotional space. Incidentally, some individuals may want to take advantage of your emotional space. They want to close into your emotional space, especially in an organization. It is not advisable, either between man and woman or thereabouts. It's not advisable because the organizational goals tend to suffer at the end of the day. So, maintaining the adequate space, maintaining good positioning is quite important in organizations so that the goals of that organization will be achieved. Thank you very much. In positioning in a hierarchical organization, even from where the office is located, that space is created. It could be at the corner of the building, it could be at the topmost floor. That's you're maintaining space and you're saying this is it, this is where the buck stops. And there's an extent to which jocularity, familiarity will come to play. And it matters a lot in organizations because when the space is breached, when everybody consider themselves as one, which should be, but there should be some distance maintained because that will invariably affect the authority. It will repose confidence on you when that level of distance is there. And as a subordinate, you should also maintain your space, even with your colleagues, as it is. Certain things we say, yeah, it's allowed. Certain wanting to be close at all times, it is not encouraged. Especially for official hours, you want to be at the place you're supposed to be, do your work, and then at the end of the day, you can feel free, go sleep down and do what you want to do, but you must work to maintain the official space because it also enables you to grow. It enables people to respect you as a junior officer when you maintain the space, except when you're invited into that space. And when you're invited into a superior space, you should also be cautionary about how you use that space and not abuse it. Thank you once again. Please subscribe to this channel. I'm sure we are already doing a good job because people have called in and we are happy with the responses we are getting. So your subscription will encourage us to do more. It shows that we are touching lives, we are touching organizations, we are touching individuals, and we look forward to chatting with you, doing business with you. Thank you once again. Subscribe, share with your friends. It is me once again, Dr. Godswill Oki, Communication Moments, SMCR. Thank you and have a great day.